yeah, so what you're going to be, create a scenario, and so basically once you get to your flight creation screen, choose your plane first, because the flight planner is going to base your fuel estimations and everything off of the plane that you choose. So, you know, for all intents and purposes, we'll keep this Beach Baron that I have. Don't worry about changing airport or anything like that right now. You just click on Flight Planner, and you'll get this window. So let's do your flight now. So departure location is going to be Kappa. How appropriate for Twitch. Kappa. So Denver, Colorado. Airport name Centennial. Destination. So it's gonna be KABQ. Albuquerque, New Mexico. So depending on the type of flight you're doing, like if you fly Airbuses, you'd probably do IFR flight, but I don't, obviously, so I do a VFR flight. Sometimes, I don't know the difference really between VOR to VOR and direct GPS. Direct GPS just draws a straight line between you and the destination. VOR will try to keep you close to those stations along the way. It's a bit more realistic, I think. So do VOR to VOR, and you click Find Route. There you go. It generates a route for you. Yeah, okay, so this is good. So, this is saying that your cruising altitude should be 16,500. Are there mountains that high in between? 'Cause that's an awful high altitude for a Cessna or small little plane. Let's see, double check. See if we can do low altitude airways. Let's see what that gives us. Okay, this is better. Low altitude gives us a way around the mountains, and 12,500 is as high as we gotta go. That's a bit more doable, I believe. 12,000 for Cessna. I don't have Cessnas installed on this one. I'm not sure what the maximum altitude is for a Cessna. Can a Cessna do 12.5? Pretty sure it can. Okay. So let's... Yeah, okay. It'd be under where you choose your aircraft. There should be a little information window, I think. I didn't want to mess you up just in case you were actually following along with this here now, but hopefully you're remembering what I'm doing. It's not hard once you try it. So yeah, these VORs, like, it's more realistic flight, whereas a direct GPS is not something you'd realistically do in real life, because you want to be close to some kind of station for communicating to people if you get trouble. So from there, what I usually do is I go to the destination. Pretty much anything in between, we'll worry about that in a second. But I go to, say, Albuquerque. Click on that. It centers you on that. Service ceiling 14,000. Yeah, so you're good. Might be a bit of a long climb if you're doing FSEconomy and you got like 5 passengers on board. You got to do a pretty low vertical speed climb to so you don't stall. So yeah, so we center on Albuquerque, then we zoom in. once you get so close, you'll start to get an outline of the airport. In a Cessna, you're not going to need much of a runway, but it's still nice if you get on a good heading to approach. So like we're coming from this, let's see, what's the name of that? So that's just an intersection, but it plants you smack dab in the middle of the airport, see? So if you're coming in on this kind of view path, you're just going to look at this kind of, you know, TP of runways. You're going to have to mess around a bit to get in there. So what you do is, close to these points, you can grab the line and drag it out. Kind of give yourself more of a straight line approach. These mountains in the middle. Hopefully I'm not... Actually, let's take the mountains into account. And so let's divert back this way, and we'll land on this smaller runway here. This kind of an approach angle here. Go through one of these intersections. Now you don't have to go through these intersections. Like I could drop it right there, and it'll create its own waypoint. Waypoint 1. I'll delete that. I'll actually go through an intersection to be fancy with it. Intersections are basically intersections, really, for different flight paths join up. So I'll put it into Rixie. The Rixie intersection. There we go. So now this will give you a nice approach on that runway. Looks like I'm gonna zoom in. Yeah, so we're lined up with whatever hell runway this is. If you need to find out what runway it is, hopefully I'm going to tell you the right information here. You turn on this ILS feathers, and it'll give you this green kind of feather looking thing. And if you hover your mouse over it, should tell you, okay, yeah, ILS 03, ILS 34, and it gives you the frequency 111.5. So if you use an ILS approach to direct you into the airport, you tune your nav into 111.5. That's all I know. I'd have to watch the YouTube video on how to do more than that. But I think you tune your nav to 111.5, and once you get in this area, you flick your autopilot to nav, and instead of GPS, you flick the switch up to nav, and it'll guide you in on the glide slope and everything here. So yeah, so you're wondering about fuel. Once you got that done, then you go to your nav log right here, and this will open up a nice little spreadsheet of the legs, distances that you're going to be doing. But at the very top, your estimated fuel burn is going to be 65.9 gallons. Right, so, you know, throw 70 in there to be sure. Kind of plus or minus 5 is what it usually tells you. So if you get any kind of simulated weather on, maybe you'll have a bit of a headwind and you'll be going with full throttle a bit more, or maybe you won't be so economical. You'll want to put 75 in there. With FSEconomy, you keep in mind that, you know, you're adding more weight with every gallon you're putting on there. Lower the weight, the easier the plane handles. But if you don't want to run out of gas, maybe you put in 75. And you're looking at about, say, 2 hours of travel time there. And yeah, so other than that, you can just look at the different legs. So right here, you get 38.8 nautical miles to the first waypoint, 40 from that one to the next one, 22 from that to the next one, 19, 36, 19, 13, 25, 26. That's beautiful spacing. Like, those legs they're great. Right, that's a very, very realistic travel route. I like that flight. I'm gonna fly that sometime actually. I'm gonna save that. I don't know why it says that. Yes, I will save that. Yeah, it's really nice. It's a good 2-hour flight right there. Yeah, it's great. So do you think this flight planner will make you enjoy it a bit more, taking you on a more realistic approach and path instead of just kind of, you know, winging it and trying to make it up over the mountains and dive down the other side? This kind of gives you. This will also feed the flight plan into your GPS as well, right? So you get in there, you flick your GPS on GPS and set your altitude and click it in. Off you go. Okay, so let's say okay to that. Yes, move my aircraft. Yeah, the low altitude option definitely helped. I've played around with that flight planner a bit, and just doing that flight there with your departure and destination, that was probably the best time I've ever seen it give me a nice route that you can see the logic behind it and see how it changed from like a direct over the mountain going up to 16,000 feet or whatever to a nice realistic 12.5 going down around. That was really cool actually seeing it do that. So it just shows how it actually works. Okay, so we got active runway, and we can actually, if we want, give me that. Alright, change airport. I'm just going to change it away from the active runway and put it in a parking, medium parking, just to make it a bit more realistic. Yeah, that's really good. I'm going to save this. I'll call it after you. Ariaka's 89. I'd say the scenery on that flight's gonna be great. I can't wait to fly it actually. It's 10 after 4 in the morning here, so it's not gonna happen tonight. Okay. Let's see if it's saved. There we go. Good. Scenarios, no checkpoints. Not sure what that's all about. Yeah, to give you one more example now. I'll exit out of that. I don't fly very often, to be honest. I was just looking at FSEconomy that time. I've only flown 2.5 hours in the past couple of days. It all depends on if I'm home. I work away, so it depends on if I'm home. As well, I got a wife and child that are pretty demanding. So it depends on if I'm off entertaining them as well. Okay, I'll exit this for now. Alright, so I'll start up FSEconomy. And we'll go to Prepar. Alright, so this is what you would see now if you went to Prepar in FSEconomy. So let's say you want to do this flight really bad, but depending on what planes you got installed, we'll see if you can actually do it. So depends on if you got a Beechcraft King Air C90 or if you got Piper PA-23 Aztec. Those are the only flights available at this airport right now. And whether or not you'll get to New Mexico, it doesn't look like it. There's no contracts to there, right? So realistically, you would not do an FSEconomy trip, the one that you're gonna do. Go back to sleep, baby. Yeah, there's no KABQ here, is there? No. Right, so you do a fun flight, like you're gonna do. But as far as an FSEconomy, there's no contracts, and it would depend on what flight you got. So if you're flying Cessnas, it'll probably be more along the lines. What do you say you got? Cessna Skyhawk G1000. Is that even here? I'm not really seeing it. Maybe it goes by a different name. I'm not sure. Let's just go with the Cessna 182 Skyline. No, I didn't see it either. But yeah, so like if you're just doing a regular Cessna, then these are all the places you'd have to go to do a contract with a Cessna. So I say it limits you, but at the same time it's more realistic, I guess, right? You can do your fun flight like we just did out, or you can do a FSEconomy flight and start earning your virtual money. Yeah, just a little tip for you as well for FSEconomy. It has to run in Internet Explorer, which sucks. So instead of having to open up, Internet Explorer and then open up the address in that, what I did was create a shortcut. Put it into a text document to be able to see it better. I don't know how a kid can cry in their sleep so much. Yeah, so what I did, because if you try to open this in Chrome, this FSEconomy.net, static, FSX client, FSEconomy.application, it tries to save it. you can't actually open it. Alright, so you gotta open it in Internet Explorer. So what I did, I created a shortcut and I typed this in manually. Just the address to Internet Explorer followed by the address to the application. So you're not there, you know, opening up Internet Explorer separately and then bookmarking it, or, you know, because the less of Internet Explorer I can see, the better, right? So at least you're not opening up and then pasting that in, or bookmarking it and going to it, and then it launches the application in a separate window. Go straight to launching that shortcut, and boom, it'll do all that crap for you and launch right into a window. I'll launch it for you. So that will help you out a lot. Unless you're a fan of Internet Explorer, that's always possible. But not me. Yeah, exactly. Another thing too, once it launches, down here, it shows if you're connected to the flight simulator. I would think, depends on, yeah, it'll still tell you here, download the FSUIPC client. I'm not sure if you got that already or not. You'll need that, and Sim Connect. Sim Connect. You probably already got it done if you've been playing FSX either bit. But if you're in your flight sim, it's under Redist. Yes. Redistribution, I call it, I guess. You go into interface. You're gonna have like these 5 directories. So basically just go in order. Even though there's like one for Service Pack 1, there's a Japanese one, and there's a RTM and a Russian and a Service Pack. Start from the beginning, go in one, retail, lib I believe. You'll see the simconnect.msi. Install that. Agree, let it run, install it. Go back to interface, go to the Japanese one, lib, simconnect, install that one. Go install the next one, retail, lib, install that one. Russian one, retail, lib, install that one. And then retail, lib, service pack one. That'll pretty much cover you as far as sim connects go. I find this sometimes it can be really fussy, and that's what you'll end up with. Right here, see? Microsoft Sim Connect client, all these different version numbers. You know, depending on what app you're running, you might need a different version, so this will cover you. And that just allows that window to communicate with your simulator. You know, adjust the fuel, adjust the weight and the handling characteristics to simulate your payload. And the FSUIPC, I had a registered one of that. I'm not sure if, I think it will connect if it's unregistered. Just Google as FSUIPC. Pretty sure you can run that unregistered. There's only a couple little features. You just download right there. So you just run that unregistered. It's a zip file. Grab it, install it. Yeah, no problem. That should get you connected into your simulator through that FSEconomy app. Yeah, I think that FSEconomy is great. Like, you know, we just had fun. We ran a flight. At the end, once all was said and done, I look at this. I see that I made, you know, $2.5 grand, and then I can, you know, go towards buying aircraft, right? I suppose if I want to buy my own Beechcraft, like the benefit is once I get so much money, I buy a Beechcraft Baron 58. I'm not paying that rental price anymore, and I should, pretty sure I'd have unlimited time as well. And with rentals, if you go too far away from the aircraft's home, you start incurring a distance bonus fee, and that costs you more money. The further you go away from that aircraft's home, the more money you incur. So by buying it, let's see if these are the Beechcraft Barons for sale. Alright, so you're looking at ranging from 2.5 million down to 323,000. Right, the airtime on that 320 something thousand dollars, 129 hours on it. I don't know if that really matters, but no, that's the thing. Like, by buying these aircraft, you already need it in your simulator. Like, you can't fly anything that you don't already have. Yeah, you already gotta have it as an option. Alright, so, like, and Prepar3D comes with a different set of aircraft than FSX. There's a few. Like, you got a Cessna. I'm willing to bet you never bought Cessna. But whereas in this, if I want Cessna, I'd have to buy the Cessna package. I don't know what I got that you wouldn't have, but like, this is Prepar3D is the next generation of FSX. This is like, FSX is pretty much a dead project as far as Microsoft is concerned. The people that look after FSX now is pretty much add-on makers. Steam Edition, you know, that's kind of just a new thing, but really it's just a rehash of FSX, Flight Simulator X. Whereas Lockheed Martin, the aircraft company, they took up the code and everything for FSX and made Prepar3D out of it, and they're maintaining it. It's got DirectX 11 support, whereas FSX, I don't even think it has DirectX 9, or it is DirectX 9 or something like that. It doesn't even have DirectX 10. Right, so it's kind of outdated in a way. But you'll see a lot of people still play FSX. People still play FSX because FSX is multiplayer. That's why you go on Steam, you and a few guys can get in the same server and fly around, whereas Prepar3D doesn't have that option. There is no multiplayer with this. You know, I think you can share a cockpit where someone can connect to you. That's about the extent of it. Other than that, you're using external programs like VATSIM or FS Cloud to simulate multiplayer, right? Like VATSIM is probably the most accurate in terms of giving you other players next to you. But you got to sign up, and it's a bit more picky. The people that are on there, if they see you doing stuff that they don't like, they'll report you to moderators on VATSIM, and you can get kicked off it, right? FS Cloud, on the other hand, works. You know, if you got AI aircraft in your FSX turned on, so you know you're landing at an airport, you see like planes flying in and out and taxiing and stuff like that. What FS Cloud does, you don't need to have AI traffic turned on, but it'll pretty much take an AI aircraft and make it match the moves that the the player is doing. So if all of us were connected to FS Cloud right now, and we were in London flying around, I'd see my plane, I'd see my weather details, I'd see my scenery add-ons, I'd see my everything. It'd just look like I'm playing single player, but the AI traffic would be you guys. So if you guys skimmed across in front of me, you know, it'd look like an AI plane skimmed across in front of me. It's actually really good. You'll see a lot of streamers, if they got FS Cloud in their title, you'll notice that's what they're using. But yeah, like VATSIM and FS Cloud, the big advantage there is that people in X-Plane, people in VETS or FSX, people in Prepared, it's cross-platform. If you're registered, if you're in the program and you're registered as being in London, say, you're in London. It doesn't matter. Your AI traffic will show your buddies next to you. So it's cross-platform, which is really good. But yeah, so all of that now came from a simple explanation of the difference between FSX and Prepared. Lockheed Martin got it. They're continuing to develop it as a simulator for training their pilots. You can get an academic license for like $60, or you can get the professional, like I got there, for $200. And there's no real difference between the two, only that in the academic version there's a little watermark up in the top right corner that's barely visible. I'm a bit anal over things like that, and so I just spent the extra money and got the full version. Don't get the $2,300 version that's on there. That's for military pilot training. Yeah, that's about it, really. It's a great little game, isn't it? And FSEconomy, good luck with that. That'll bring you some good times. See, once I got Prepared open, there it is showing connected. And yeah, it's a persistent world. See, like, I'll show you one thing as well. And keep showing you stuff. I don't want to spoil it all for you, but I'll go to my logs. Let's see, we left CYLP at the beginning of the night. If I go to that airport now, it was Mingen, right? I flew a Beechcraft 58 out of there. The Beechcraft's no longer listed, right? It's gone. I flew that plane out. Nobody can fly that plane out of this airport now, unless they fly another one into it. Right. So if I go back to my log, even though I landed in Bagotville, but there's still no Beechcraft there because I took it and I continued flying on. No, I probably would teach like this often, actually. It's just I gotta stream in order to do it. I'm not a regular streamer, and you know, having a small audience is good because we can kind of get down to brass tacks, as it's said, and discuss it. So yeah, I don't know how to answer your question really. Is that I don't stream often, so I guess I don't teach often, but now that I'm streaming, I'm also teaching, just because I'm excited about this, and this brings a whole new atmosphere to Flight Simulator. It gives you a purpose instead of just flying around aimlessly. You know, it gives you contracts. But yeah, so like I said, we go to our final destination, which was Dolbeau, and there's the Beechcraft Baron 58. Alright, because we landed there, we ended our flight there, so that's where the flight is. So, you know, one of you guys one of you guys can go and take it on me if you want, but I've been flying this plane around for the past few weeks, so try not to steal it on me. But if you do, out of badness, I'll understand. Thanks, Ariakis, I appreciate that. That's really nice of you. This is also what I was telling you about earlier too, that like this Beechcraft Baron, it has a home where I've been renting it and flying it everywhere. But technically it does have a home, and it's right here, CDA 5. So this will pretty much tell you where I first took it from. And it was at St. Andrews in Newfoundland, Canada. And yeah, so I've taken it from Newfoundland. I flew it around Newfoundland. I took it to Labrador. Then I went out west to Quebec. Right, these are my flights that I've done in that one plane. And yeah, it's fun. Alright, so then I'll go back again. We're going to logs. Alright, so that plane now, its home is CDA 5. So since that's out west now, and Newfoundland is to the east of Quebec in Canada. So I've gone really far away from that airplane's home. So this bonus here on the right, the further I go west, thanks a lot for that follow, appreciate that.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
So yeah, this bonus works two ways. If you can find a contract that flies east, which brings it closer to its home, you'll get an extra $50 an hour. I think it's per hour. Off of your rental time, or you know, basically you get that money every hour, and it's prorated. So if you fly a half hour, you get $25 of it, of that bonus. But if you continue to fly west, that bonus will be a negative. So that'll be on top of your rental cost. You'll pay an extra $50 an hour if you fly west. Or north or south, I guess, for that matter. Anywhere other than towards its home. So you kind of take that into account with your rental costs as well. Yeah. But yeah, those are the main tidbits that I've picked up so far playing this thing. It's a great, if you couldn't tell, I'm pretty enthused about it. It's nice to have a purpose, because I love flying around in the simulator, but it's boring when you don't have anything to do per se. You're just like, I'll go to my home city and I'll fly around this mountain and I'll land and I'll be done. At least this is like, okay, no, you can only take a contract that goes to this airport. You get in it, you go, and we'll keep taking you further and further away from home, and takes you out of your comfort zone. But it also makes you want to buy more aircraft, because flying, what do we got here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've done 11 flights in that one Beechcraft Baron. I've learned that plane by now. You know, I know my way around its GPS, I can land it, take it off. I'm pretty comfortable with it. I'd like to learn a new aircraft now, but that would take, you know, either buying one or, actually, come to think of it, it wouldn't be too hard, I guess. I just gotta find one that I got that's at an airport. Let's see. I doubt they're gonna have a military fighter for doing passenger and cargo work. I'd say I'd probably do the King Air next. The Beech King Air. It's a King Air 350. Let's see what happens. Beech King Air 350. Go. Yeah, so I guess I'll just go to one of those airports. I'll go 315 knots. I can go up to 35,000 feet. Can hold 539 gallons of fuel. Maximum takeoff weight 15,000 pounds. Up to 11 passengers. So that'll open up contracts for taking a lot more passengers. No, it's for FSX, prepared. Pretty sure X-Plane, you can play that as well. It just connects to your simulator. It feeds in flight information to your simulator to simulate what you're doing. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's cross-platform. Definitely FSX and prepared. X-Plane, I'm not 100% sure about, but I would think so. Yeah, FSEconomy, that's what you want to search and start reading up and try it out. It's free. Free. Free is a great word.